Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. It's AI with Chucky. If you have been following my recent content, you know that we have been absolutely obsessed with pushing the boundaries of what is actually possible on the Google Colab free tier. My previous optimized notebook for ComfyUI absolutely blew up, and the feedback from you guys was honestly eye-opening. It showed me just how many of you are looking for a reliable, zero-cost way to run high-end AI art and generative video workflows without needing to drop $3,000 or $4,000 on a specialized local PC with a high-end RTX 4090 graphics card. But as good as that previous notebook was, I realized we could do better. I read your comments. I looked at the crash reports some of you sent regarding memory timeouts, and I went back to the lab to build something significantly more robust. Today I am unveiling the ComfyUI Colab Upgraded. This isn't just a minor patch or a bug fix. This is a complete architectural overhaul of how we run next-generation models like Flux and the massive WAN 2.1, specifically on Google Colab's infrastructure. We are focusing on three pillars today: speed, persistence, and stability. If you're tired of your Colab session crashing due to RAM spikes, or if you're exhausted from re-downloading 50 gigabytes of models every single time Google recycles your runtime, this video is exactly what you need. I'm going to use this new environment to walk you through the complete setup process, allowing you to prep your workspace for heavy models like WAN 2.1. First things first, you need to grab the notebook. Head over to my GitHub repository. You will find the direct link right in the video description below. You're looking for the file specifically named ComfyUI Colab Upgraded. Go ahead and click the Open in Colab badge to launch the environment. Now, before we touch a single line of Python code, we need to perform our standard hardware sanity check. Move your mouse up to the top right corner of the Colab interface. You need to ensure you are connected to a hosted runtime that has a GPU allocated. Since most of us are using the Colab free tier, you will usually see a Tesla T4 GPU. This card has about 15 to 16 gigabytes of VRAM. It is a workhorse, but it is not the fastest card on the market. If you are a Colab Pro subscriber, you might get lucky with an A100. But honestly, this notebook is specifically optimized to squeeze every drop of performance out of that standard, free T4 GPU. This optimization is crucial because if we don't manage that 16 gigabytes of VRAM carefully, models like Flux or WAN will crash the session immediately. Let's look at Cell 1, System Initialization. This is where I have made the most significant changes to the code structure compared to my old videos. You will notice immediately that there is no checkbox for mounting Google Drive. In previous versions, this was a manual step that some people forgot, which led to them losing all their generated images when the Colab session disconnected. I've removed that friction. The code now automatically detects that you are running inside Google Colab and forces a mount to your content drive. This is non-negotiable because this notebook relies on a hybrid storage system. Let me explain the technical reason why this matters for free tier users. To get maximum generation speed, the ComfyUI software itself needs to run on the Colab runtime's local, fast SSD. However, the Colab runtime is ephemeral, meaning it gets wiped clean the moment you close your browser tab. To save your sanity, your huge models, your output images, and your installed custom nodes need to live on your persistent Google Drive. This script creates what are called symlinks, essentially digital wormholes, that trick the software into thinking the files are on the Colab machine when they are actually safely stored in your Google Drive. Now, pay close attention to the settings here because this is important for your first run versus your daily use. We have two options: update ComfyUI and install ComfyUI Manager. If you're using this notebook for the very first time, you absolutely need to leave both of these checked. This ensures the environment pulls the absolute latest version of the software and sets up the manager, which is essential for fixing node errors later. However, since I have already run this script before and I have everything installed on my drive, I am going to uncheck them. There is no need for me to re-download the core software if it's already sitting there. But again, if you are new, check them. If you're returning like me, uncheck them to save about 30 seconds of setup time. Go ahead and run the cell. It will ask for authorization to access Google Drive. Grant it. This is the foundation of our persistent environment. While the system initializes in the background, scroll down to Cell 2. This is the feature I'm most proud of, the model and node downloader. In my previous optimized notebook, downloading custom nodes was a pain. You usually had to launch the UI, go to the manager, search for the node, install it, and restart. It wasted so much GPU time. In this upgraded version, I have added a brand new input field specifically for custom node URLs. You can see it right there at the bottom of the cell. This allows you to paste the GitHub links for any custom nodes you need, like the WAN wrapper or GGUF nodes before you even launch the interface. The script handles the cloning and the requirement installation automatically. In most Colab tutorials you see on YouTube, downloading a model requires you to write complex code blocks using wget or aria2c commands inside the cell. It's messy, it's prone to typos, and it's intimidating if you aren't a coder. I have replaced that entire process with a clean, user-friendly interface using Python variables. You now have specific input fields for every type of resource: checkpoints, UNet diffusion models, text encoders, VAEs, LoRa's, and the new custom nodes field. Why does this separation matter? If you've been looking into Flux or WAN 2.1, you know that modern AI is moving away from single, massive files. We are seeing a modular architecture where the brain, which is the UNet, the eyes, which correspond to the VAE, and the language center, the text encoder, are all separate files. This notebook is built for that modular future, but I'm going to show you how to get these massive files into your Colab free tier setup so you are ready to go. Let's head over to Hugging Face. I'm navigating to the Hugging Face repository. If you are new to this ecosystem, Hugging Face is essentially the storage locker for the AI community. To get a modern pipeline like WAN 2.1 or Flux running on a T4 GPU, we have to be very specific about which files we grab. On the free tier, we cannot just grab the biggest file and hope for the best, because we will run out of memory. First, we need the diffusion model, or the UNE. I am looking for the split files or the quantized versions. Clicking the download button and copying the link address. Back in Colab, I am pasting this into the box labeled UNet diffusion URLs. It is critical that you do not put this in the checkpoints box. In the ComfyUI folder structure, modern diffusion models belong in the models/unet folder, not models/checkpoints. This script handles that routing for you automatically, so you don't have to worry about file paths. A quick pro tip regarding this downloader is that these boxes accept batch input. If you wanted to download 10 different LoRa's for a project, you don't have to run the cell 10 times. You can just paste all 10 links into the LoRa box, separated by commas or new lines, and the script will parse them and queue them up sequentially. This is a huge time saver on Colab. Okay, we have our URLs queued up. Go ahead and press the play button on cell 2. I want you to pay close attention to the output log here. In older legacy notebooks, you would typically see a generic wall of text that updated sporadically. If a download stalled because of Colab's network, you wouldn't know for 10 minutes. I've utilized the Python TIM library here to give you rich, visual progress bars. Look at that. You can see the specific file name being processed, the real-time download speed in megabytes per second, and the estimated time of arrival. This gives you peace of mind that the system is working. But here's the smartest part of this script, and the reason I call it the upgraded edition. Idempotency. That's a fancy programming term that effectively means checking if the job is already done. Let's say you run this notebook today to set up WAN 2.1. You download 20 gigabytes of data to your drive. Tomorrow, you want to try Flux. You open the notebook. If you accidentally leave the WAN 2.1 links in these boxes and hit play, the script is smart enough to check your Google Drive first. It will see the file exists, it will verify the file size, and it will print skipping. It won't waste your storage bandwidth or your precious time re-downloading files you already own. This effectively turns your Google Drive into a permanent, growing AI library. You build it up over time. Today you add WAN, tomorrow you add Flux Dev, next week you add the newest control nets. They all live together in the ComfyUI models folder on your drive, ready to be mounted instantly whenever you launch a Colab session. Our downloads are finishing up now. You can see the all tasks finished message. Now we scroll down to cell 3. Google Colab free tier has a very aggressive timeout policy. If you aren't clicking things in the browser window, it assumes you have walked away and it kills the GPU session to save resources. To combat this, I've included an HTML audio player loop. Click play on the audio player. It's a silent track, 10 minutes of silence on a loop. You won't hear anything, but your browser detects media is playing. This tricks Chrome and Colab into thinking you are actively consuming content, which significantly extends your session lifetime. Now let's look at cell 4, Start ComfyUI Session. I have introduced a crucial new feature here, the memory profile dropdown. This is absolutely critical for running models like WAN 2.1 or Flux Dev on a free tier T4 GPU. We have standard mode, which auto-detects, and high VRAM mode, which you should only touch if you have a paid subscription and an A100 GPU. But the most important one is low VRAM. This is what you must select for our current setup if you are using heavy models. Why low VRAM? These new models are huge. If ComfyUI tries to load the entire model weights into the 16 gigabytes of VRAM on the T4, it will crash immediately. Low VRAM forces the system to keep the model in the system RAM, essentially the CPU memory, and only send the specific layers it needs to the GPU for calculation, swapping them back and forth. It makes generation slightly slower, but it makes it possible to run enterprise-grade models on free hardware. We have selected low VRAM. We have ensured live generation previews is checked so we can see the image forming step by step. Go ahead and hit run. The script is now launching the ComfyUI backend. Instead of using the old Gradio tunnels, which were notoriously slow and often timed out, I'm using Cloudflare. Watch the logs. It is installing the Cloudflare Linux package. This creates an encrypted secure tunnel from this Google Colab instance directly to the open internet. Wait for the green text saying ComfyUI is online. Below that, you will see a unique URL ending in trycloudflare.com. Click that link, it will open a new tab. It might ask you to click a button to visit site. That's just a standard security warning. Click through it and we are in. Welcome to ComfyUI. Your environment is now fully prepped. You're ready to go out, find the advanced workflows for these models, and start creating without fighting the technology. This notebook is available via the GitHub link in the video description below. If this deep dive helped you understand the how and why of Colab AI and you want to support the channel, please consider supporting me on the AI with Chucky Patreon. That link is also in the description. Your support helps me keep developing these free tools for the community. Thanks for watching, drop a like if this helped, and I'll see you in the next tutorial.